Hi, I'm Curious Vedant, and welcome to season 3 of my podcast. Today, my guest is Justice Manmohan Singh, who is the chairman of the Intellectual Property Appellate Board and a former judge of the High Court of Delhi. It is an honor to have you as my guest. Welcome to my show, sir.
Thank you so much.
I've had lots of lawyer guests, and this is just very interesting how I get to interview a judge. It's such an honor to have you.
Even I'm very glad. I'm very glad. And you can ask me anything, anything. My life is open to all. You can ask any question, I will give the answer.
Thank you. So, sir, I'm curious to know what is intellectual property?
It is a category of property created by human intellect, the creation, and these are the property rights. It was actually developed in 17th century in England. So this intellectual property mainly out of many, mainly basically lies with four category of statutes. One is Patent Act, one is trademark, third one is copyright, and fourth one is design. Now, as far as trademark is concerned, intellectual property in trademarks, it basically it can be protected by the court. It's just like a brand. You every day you take Coca-Cola or Fanta and other thing, which is basically called from the brand name. It is a trademark. Trademark can also be now as a color combination, signatures, numbers. Suppose 555 cigarette is there, that is also a brand name. Shape of the goods is also become a trademark. Suppose Coca-Cola bottle is there, that is also become a trademark now under the new law. So this is called trademark. If somebody will create some trademark, he has some property rights. Suppose today I will create one brand name just in front of you, JIF, JIFF. It has no meaning. It has no meaning. I have created it. So I have a right. If somebody will copy it, I can take the action against him. I can give the license to anyone to use it. I can give the license to Coca-Cola company. I can give the license to the Pepsi to use my brand name, and ultimately I can get the royalty also. So this is just like a property after creation of my rights, like patent. We are under COVID-19. Suppose somebody has invented the drug, like Pfizer company. They have basically invented the drug for to cure the COVID-19 to just to kill the virus. So it is a property right. It is invented by the scientists. It is invented. Then basically after having the registration of patent products, one can have the right, because I'm just giving you one example out of thousand, that Pfizer vaccine is very successful, or other vaccine you must have seen created by so many companies, and they have spent a lot of money, and now they are getting the royalty also. They are selling in the market, and it is just like a property rights. Third one is design. You are sitting in the chair. If the chair has got some special shape and configuration which appeals to the eyes, and it is a new one, then the design of the chair can be protected under the Design Act. Then basically copyright. Copyright, suppose you write something, you are creating something today, some interview, and you it's a labor and skill is involved in this. You are sitting, I am sitting, you have prepared everything, question, I have prepared some answer. So it is a property rights, intellectual property rights in the copyright. You write some book, that literary work is protected under the law. So these are the basically things. This is a right created by human being for the purpose of economy, for the purpose of businesses. So this is the meaning of intellectual property.
So, if a car design is there, another car brand can't copy it, right?
Yes, yes. Like you must have seen car, Toyota. The other party in the entire world cannot copy it. Suppose one particular car is there in a particular design. No other person can copy that design by the other company. Some German company cannot copy it. So these are the property rights. These are the property rights. One creates it and one can have the monopoly.
And also, like, I have seen books. So there's this book called Dogman, and there's another book called Dogman, but it has a different story and a different cover.
Yes, that's right. If the titles are very common, suppose there are two books under the name, there cannot be any monopoly of the title of the book. But as far as the contents are concerned, suppose I write something about Gandhi and you write something about the Gandhi. So there must be a difference. There are certain common things also in the life of. So you have the right of that book. I will also have the right of that book. Suppose I take substantial portion of your book, whatever you are writing, that is a case of infringement of copyright. You can claim the damages from me. You can claim the profits from me for publishing the book. So this is the basically one of the intellectual right out of many.
That is very, very interesting, and like that's very, very nice and complicated, but very interesting.
Good, very good. You study and you should also come on this side, intellectual property advocate, lawyer, and you will be very successful. If you have some interest in this age of 8 years, then it means you intend to do so many big things, and it is up to you. But if you want to become the advocate on the IPR side, it is quite interesting. It is quite interesting. I've been there for the last more than 48 years.
Wow.
48 years. 8 plus 40, I am doing the intellectual property cases since 1st of February 1972.
So in the shops, I've seen like these duplicate Lego bricks. What do we do with these?
I think if the owner of the brand name, no doubt, in China, in Thailand, maybe in Singapore, I am not aware fully, but suppose somebody will copy the brand name or its logo. Suppose brand name is different, only the logo has been copied. The original person who has created it initiate the action against that party. He can go to the police. He can basically remove the goods from there. He can take the injunction order from the court. The court can direct the party not to use it, to shopkeeper not to sell it under the infringing brand, which is similar to the original brand.
In my previous episodes, I have learned about what lawyers do. Can you tell me what a judge does?
First of all, one has to obtain the law degree. Law degree has to be there to become a judge.
Yeah.
So, if after obtaining the law degree, one has to join in the profession as an advocate, and then basically one has to practice in the courts on any subject, intellectual property rights or other rights under the Hindu Marriage Act or other whatever is the choice of the person. And then we have a system in the entire world that one can become a judge. There is an age limit. There is a judge in district courts. There is a judge in the high court. there is a system of becoming a judge in the Supreme Court. So, as far as the judges of the High Courts and Supreme Courts are concerned, those are recommended by the Chief Justice of the respective High Courts. Those will go to the Collegium of the Supreme Court. 5 senior judges of the Supreme Court, after full investigation, appoint the person who was recommended by the High Court, Chief Justice of the High Court, can send the name to the government. And after the agreement of the government, the matter ultimately, the judges are appointed by the President of India in my country, India. The President of India will appoint, there is a complete procedure that the file will go to the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister will look up the matter, then it will go to the President of India. If the Prime Minister approves, then President of India will sign the file. Then one can become a judge. And any person cannot become a judge, One has to struggle it, one has to earn the name, one has to practice his hard work will do. And then after seeing your behavior, your conduct, your honesty, and your intellect, then your name is appointed. And ultimately, then one can become a judge after signing of the file by the President of India. He can sit in the court and decide the matter. The judge cannot decide the matter at its own. He has to decide the matter as per law. Law is already available. Law is applicable. One has to pull up the book and read. One has to hear both the parties. That if A says something else, B says something else, ultimately judge will read the file, judge will read the books, and then ultimately he will give the decision.
So if the Prime Minister and the President appoint you as a judge, do you have the right to arrest them if they do something wrong?
I'm telling you, you are right. The judges are appointed by the President of India. But for judge, you must understand, judge cannot decide anything his own, He cannot have any enemy with anybody. He has to decide everything as per merit of the case, as per the law. There is a procedure. If any action is to be taken against the member of parliament, against even the ex-prime minister, or whatever, the government has to complete the procedure. If somebody is involved, then the court can take action against anybody, but not as a vengeance-ness, The court has to decide the matter as per facts of the case, as per the law. Personal vendetta will not work against anybody in the court.
So everybody is equal?
Yes. Everybody is equal before the court.
Okay. What is the wooden hammer-like thing that judges use? Why do they hit it on the desk?
Tradition, frankly speaking. It is a tradition for the last 200 years or 300 years that just to have the attention of the court, they are reminding the advocate, they are reminding the court, they are reminding the staff. Therefore, hammer is there. They say that whatever the judge is saying, whatever the judge is listening, everybody must intention. You must read the judge. You must learn the exchange of argument between the judge and the advocate. Therefore, in order to stop that particular, the hammer is being used. But no, normally the courts are not using in the High Court and Supreme Court, because everybody is vigilant when the matter is taken up by the court. The advocate is vigilant, client is vigilant, staff is vigilant, judges are vigilant, because it was an earlier procedure where the courts are full of person and they were talking to each other. So in order to show the quietness,
So it means like be shh, listen. How does a judge decide if someone is guilty or not?
this basically it is not a personal thing, One, the judge cannot say anybody that you are guilty without reading the file, without reading the law. Judge will always go as per facts of the case, as per law. Then after going through everything, after going through the evidence, ultimately judge will declare that such and such person is guilty or he is not guilty.
How do you know when to send a person to jail?
I tell you, there is a complete chart in the books, in the law books, that if somebody has stolen the property of somebody, there is a complete chart. There are section, the codification is there. There are sections that your offense will come under this category. Then basically there is a term of imprisonment also in that. Suppose it is a case of stealing of property, then there is a procedure that up to this limit he can go to jail. The judge himself cannot decide that somebody has stolen the cycle and I will declare that he should be hanged. It cannot be done by the judge. He will go as per the law.
So when someone is sent to jail, their family will be very sad. Does it make you sad when you send someone to jail?
Frankly speaking, of course, if one day jail is very bad for the family, for the accused, for everybody in the society. But suppose somebody does something wrong, then he has to be punished. Therefore, it from the entire atlas, it says that the person should not do anything wrong, which may contrary to the law. Punishment has to be there. It is immaterial. If I am not happy, his family is not happy, or he is not happy. Therefore, law says that one should not do anything contrary to law.
It's very important to follow the law, and it also keeps lots of people safe.
Yes, of course. Everybody should follow the law. Everybody in the entire world. Whosoever will not follow the law, punishment has to be there. And punishment is written in the book. Different country, different punishment. So if somebody is tried in India, the Indian law will apply. If somebody will do something wrong in Singapore, so Singapore law will apply. So punishment has to be there if somebody will do wrong. Therefore, parents of all children not to do anything wrong. Otherwise, law will apply. If you have to succeed in your life, the person should not do wrong things.
Yes, and I will never do anything wrong.
Good, very good, very good, very good. You should not.
One of my previous lawyer guests, Ambika, told me that you passed an order saying that birds should not be kept in cages. Can you tell me a little more about this order?
It is a very sentimental issue. I am 66 years old. I have never seen in my life that the bird has hurt any human being. Never.
Never.
But human being always disturb the lives of bird and animals. I am not saying all human being. Some of the person, like they put it on the cage and just to have the fun with them and just to have the business connection in order to earn the money. They put in a 100 chicken in small cage. Even they cannot able to sleep. They cannot able to stand. They cannot able to do anything. Even they cannot able to have the feeding and water. So they have also the fundamental rights. But many people, many people in many countries, they are basically disturbing their life. And maybe due to some reason, maybe due to business transaction or other thing. But I feel I am against it, frankly speaking. I say that one should not, suppose I will have the parrot just to oblige my family or my children. I put it in the cage, and although he was just flying in sky, and he was in jungle, and he was enjoying like anything. And whenever the case come to me about the bird or animal, suppose the animal they have some problem, they have some disease, and still basically in butcher khana animals are being cut. Animal is sick, we must have some mercy for them, like bird also. And if we are not serious about it, it is a very bad thing. It is a very bad thing. It is a very hot issue. When I gave 2 3 judgments on the issue of birds and animals, can you imagine how many letters I have received from the entire world thanking me? Because in animal case, 300 animals are being sent to butcher khana for cutting. So I stopped them because those were ill. I say no, 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 no. You cannot do it. I tell the government, I tell the party concerned that just for the sake of making the money, you cannot take him to the butcher khana. So interim order was passed. Like in birds also, colored bird, beautiful birds, put it in the cage for months together. I direct the party to release because they were going to sell cage in the market, in Indian market as well as abroad. I say no, I cannot allow all these things. So ultimately that judgment is also confirmed by the higher court. So this is a situation. If we are human being, we should not do all these things.
Yes, so people should be sent to jail for months, just like they put birds in jail. Then they will feel how to be put in cages, and then they'll stop doing it. What made you choose to be a judge? What did you want to be as a child?
It is a wishful thinking of my parents, my mother. So my mother became widow when I was just 2 years old. I have not seen my father. So my mother always, she was thinking that I must become advocate, I must go for law degree. And after obtaining the degree, I joined the profession. And then basically I practiced as an advocate for 28 years. 28 years, very hard work. And the judges of the High Court were watching me that he is a very fair advocate. He is very hardworking. So our Chief Justice has recommended my name. And then ultimately I became a judge. And it is the wishful thinking of my mother. My mother says that if you will become a judge, she will feel very happy because you are a good human being. You will help the poor citizen, poor litigants. And I did the same thing. I did not compromise in my life. I always basically have compassion in my mind, always. If I will feel that he has done nothing wrong and prosecution wants to send him to the jail, I say nothing doing. He is innocent. He must be outside. So therefore, one basically enjoys if he will become a judge because you are deciding the matters of both the after hearing both the parties and as per law book, as per law, as per facts. So I enjoyed a lot. Even today I can tell you that my 2000 judgments are reported in the law book on every subject. So I feel proud of my parents. I feel proud of my mother, and I am very satisfied in my life that I have done something for the public, for the litigant, with honesty, because it is a tapasya. I have done the tapasya for about 9 years as a judge.
2000 judgments is a lot. You are very inspiring. I am inspired by you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vedant. Thank you.
What are your hobbies?
I have a very limited hobbies. I take my hobbies to take homemade food, number one, and number two, music and singing.
I like two of those hobbies. Actually, all of them, they're really nice hobbies.
This hobby I have copied from my mother's. My mother was also very fond of music and singing. So I did the same thing.
Yeah. Can you sing 4 lines of your favorite song for me, please?
Only one line.
Okay, sure.
दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाई काहे को दुनिया बनाई तूने काहे को दुनिया बनाई. Thank you. So if you come to India, you meet me, huh?
Well,
God bless you. You are studying somewhere? Huh?
yes, I am.
Good, very good, very good. God bless you.
Thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. This is so nice.
Thank you. God bless you.
Dear listeners, follow my Facebook page, Curious Vedant, to get updates on my upcoming episodes. To listen at leisure on your phone and get notified about future episodes, subscribe by searching for Curious Vedant wherever you get your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can also listen to my show on CuriousVedant.com. Thank you for listening to Curious Vedant, and don't forget to rate and leave comments.